If I feel like a content gets ignored no matter how good it is, there's a reason for that. And it's not just about SEO anymore, because the way people run and find information has changed. Hi, I'm Gak. Welcome to Smart MBA. Let's dive in. Let me ask you something. When you want to learn something these days, how do you go about it? Back then, we used to Google it. We'd scroll through a bunch of search results, read a few articles, and pick out the pieces that made sense. In that era, getting your content seen meant one thing: SEO, search engine optimization. But today, that's quietly changing. Now, with tools like ChatGPT and another generative AI, you don't even need to search. You just ask, and the answer shows up. Organized, structured, clear. We are shifting from a world where humans search and choose to one where AI chooses and delivers. And that shift changes everything about how information flows. Until now, it was all about SEO, optimizing content so humans could find it. But from here on, we'll need something else: AI, or artificial intelligence optimization. It's the idea of designing your content so that AI finds it, selects it, and uses it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but isn't that just for creators and online business people? Fair question. But here's the thing. It's bigger than that. This shift affects something much deeper: who gets what information and how knowledge is distributed across society. It's not just about people who publish. It's about all of us who consume. Which means AIO isn't just for specialists. It's something that affects each and every one of us. At the heart of this new reality is AIO, artificial intelligence optimization. In this video, I'll break down how the rules of visibility are shifting from SEO to AIO, and what that means for how we engage with information in the age of AI. As someone who's worked in both tech and business, I will walk you through the core of AIO in a way that's simple, sharp, and practical. We are entering a time when information is selected by AI, but not long ago, it was normal for humans to search for answers on their own. And in that world, one rule defined everything about visibility: SEO, search engine optimization. Let's quickly break down what SEO really meant. It was all about anticipating what people would search for. You picked the right keywords, crafted attention-grabbing titles, and optimized every page to rank higher in search results. In short, being found was the entire game. That's why, in many cases, the focus shifted away from content quality and toward clickability. What will stand out? What will get the most clicks? That's what content was optimized for. And it worked. Everything content could win, as long as it ranked well, because behind it all was a simple assumption. Humans were the ones doing the searching and choosing. It was search-driven model. People looked, people clicked, people decided. But now, that assumption is quietly breaking down. Traditional SEO assumed one thing: people searched, people found, people chose. It was all based on the idea that humans would type query, scroll through the results, and pick what seemed most relevant to them. But that foundation is being quietly rewritten thanks to generative AI. Today, we can just ask tools like ChatGPT a question and get an answer instantly without having to search, click, or compare anything ourselves. AI now scans through massive volumes of information, filters out what seems most trustworthy, and delivers a neatly structured response. And here's what's critical: AI chooses which sources to rely on. That means we've entered a new era, where content creators need to think beyond being found by people. Now, we have to think about being chosen by AI. This is where a new framework comes in: AIO, artificial intelligence optimization. Here's how we define it in this video. AIO means designing and structuring your information so that it's easy for AI to quote, summarize, and recommend. In other words, it's about shaping your content so that AI can understand its meaning and find it useful. That includes structure, vocabulary, causality, and verifiability. This is the lens we'll use moving forward. If SEO was about optimizing content to be selected by humans, AIO is about optimizing content to be selected by machines. And in this shift, how we write, shape, and share knowledge, that's what makes all the difference. So far, we've seen how being discoverable by humans is no longer enough. In this new era, it's about being selected by AI. But that raises a critical question: what kind of content does AI actually want to choose? The answer isn't random. In fact, AI consistently favors content that reflects 4 key traits: structure, wording, Causality, Verifiability. Let's walk through each one. Structure. AI processes huge volumes of content to generate clean, concise answers. So when content is well structured, like using a clear flow, such as introduction, claim, evidence, conclusion, it's far easier for AI to summarize, reuse, and quote. That's why messy stream of consciousness writing rarely gets selected, but logical step-by-step organization that raises your usability factor. AI loves structure because the structure enables meaning. Wording. Next is your vocabulary, your tone, and linguistic expression. AI looks for signs of credibility, and one of those signs is word choice. If your content is filled with hype, like guaranteed, or anyone can do it 100%, AI sees it as less trustworthy. But content that balances clarity with nuance, that moves smoothly between abstract and concrete, feels more stable, reusable, and intelligent. You don't need to sound academic, but you do need to sound credible. Causality. This third factor is causality. AI doesn't understand meaning the way humans do. It detects patterns and logical relationships. So when your content clearly shows why something is true, not just what is true, AI can reconstruct and reuse your arguments much more easily. In other words, the more explicit your why, the more usable your content becomes. Verifiability. Now, let's talk about the most abstract factor, verifiability. How does AI decide what information is reliable? Sure, citing credible sources helps, and yes, references are still a valid signal of trustworthiness. But in the context of AI, what truly matters is the internal consistency of your content. If your logic is sound, your language is stable, and your structure coherent, AI is more likely to see your content as reliable. Because here's the key, internal consistency allows AI to compare your content against the trusted information patterns it's learned from. The more your structure aligns with those patterns, the more your content seems credible in the AI's eyes. That's the core of verifiability in the AIOL. Internal structure leads to external alignment, and that's what gets you chosen. In the next part, we'll dive into how you can actually apply these 4 elements so your content doesn't just exist online, but actually gets picked up, quoted, and recommended in the AI age. So far, we've talked about the 4 elements that help content get selected by AI: structure, wording, causality, and verifiability. Now the question is, how do you actually apply them? Here's the key. Don't write content just to get your message across. Write with the assumption that it needs to be chosen from the start. In the age of AI, writing isn't just about expressing thoughts. It's about designing your content as material that AI can easily reuse. That means you are not just writing for readers. You are shaping knowledge for machines to reference, quote, and amplify. And these 4 elements, they don't work in isolation. Good structure clarifies causality. Stable wording supports verifiability. Each part reinforces the others. Together, they form the kind of content AI is drawn to. That's why, moving forward, it's not enough to simply put your ideas out there. You need to design your content with selection in mind. That shift from output to optimization is what defines a powerful communicator in the AI era. At this point, you might be thinking, sure, but doesn't this only apply to influencers or content creators? And that's a common assumption. When we hear the term AI, it's easy to picture YouTubers, bloggers, or people who are clearly putting content out there. But here's the truth. Today, almost every part of business and social life lives a digital trade: social media posts, website updates, press releases, customer support articles. Whether we realize it or not, we are all already content creators, and we are all part of what AI systems are analyzing, selecting, and reshaping. The way we interact with information is undergoing a massive shift. In the past, we searched, we judged, we choose. We had to actively decide which sources to trust. Now, AI creates everything for us, offering answers that feel clean, confident, and complete. But that raises a deeper issue. Who's behind those answers? What kind of structure fits into the AI's response? Because when AI selects content, that content becomes the starting point for someone else's knowledge. And more often than we realize, it's not just experts, celebrities, or corporations. It's everyday people like you and me, whose words are being reused as the foundation for future decisions. That's why AI isn't just about marketing. It's about a bigger question. Whose knowledge will survive in the AI era? Whose voice will shape the future? This idea of AI, artificial intelligence optimization, isn't just a technical concept. It's a reminder that anything we put online can be picked up, reframed, and passed forward, sometimes far beyond what we ever imagined. And that means this conversation isn't just about content creators, it's about all of us. The content AI selects, it's not just an answer that shows up in someone's search. It's more than that, it becomes the starting point of someone else's thinking. It shapes the flow of future knowledge. The words you share, the quality of your writing, the structure of your ideas, all of that gets absorbed, recognized, and passed on through AI, influencing the next person's decisions, values, and understanding. When you realize that, you begin to see content creation not just as self-expression, but as intentional knowledge design. What kind of content does AI choose? It chooses what's trustworthy, what's reusable, what holds meaning and structure. That's why embedding thought and structure into your content isn't just a skill, it's a responsibility. Optimizing for AI isn't just about chasing some intellectual ideal. It's a practical, strategic approach that impacts real-world outcomes. For businesses, for professionals, for anyone building a presence in the AI era, understanding how to shape information so AI selects it is now a competitive advantage. And personally, I believe this mindset. Think it, shape it, share it. It's a new form of copywriting for this generation. It's not about using persuasive words to sell. It's about creating structure that gets selected, and ultimately, that's what drives sales. This, I believe, is the foundation of intellectual work and content strategy in the AI age. In this video, we've explored AI, artificial intelligence optimization, and the 4 key elements that make content more likely to be chosen: structure, wording, causality, verifiability. And I want to leave you with this. Shaping information with these principles doesn't just help you get picked up by AI. It contributes to the quality of knowledge that defines the future. If you are curious to learn more about how to design content for AI and how to apply these principles more deeply, I'm planning some exclusive content for those who want to go even further. If we want to go even further and thrive in this AI-driven world, check out this video, where I dive into how to combine human creativity with powerful AI tools. Be sure to subscribe, think it, shape it, share it. Until next time.